All right, recording is on now. Good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Abby, and I'll be your host today. I want to welcome you to today's Postgraduate Information session on MSc IMBD. Thank you again for joining us today. Before we begin, just a couple of housekeeping notes. All microphones and cameras are disabled during the session to ensure a smooth experience for everyone, so that does apply to all of our attendees. If you have any questions at any point, please pop them in the chat box that is displayed on your right-hand side. We will be answering as many questions as we can during the Q&A session at the end. I'd also like to let all of you know that today's session is being recorded. Luckily, you will be able in the next coming weeks to go on our GCU YouTube page and find this webinar to either review it yourself or you can share with someone else. Now I'm pleased to introduce today's presenter, Dr. Vivian Ekechukwu Efudu. And then also we have two current students, Casimir and Shamaka, joining us today as well. So Dr. Vivian, sorry for the butcher. It's always whenever the recording comes on, every time. I'll hand it over to you now.
Thank you very much, Abigail. Don't worry, it's okay. So, my name is Dr. Vivian Ikechukwu Ifudu, and I am the program leader for International Management and Business Development in Glasgow, Caledonian University in the London campus.
Perfect. And go ahead. All right.
I would like to do an overview of the program. Now, the description of the course is it's a postgraduate degree which is focused on international business, leadership, and entrepreneurship. It prepares students to manage and grow businesses in a global context. Now, who is this particular program for? It is for graduates in business and also even non-business background. You don't have to have a business background. It could be from engineering, social sciences, and also the degree that you would require is a 2-2 or its equivalent. Also, you require English language um, wherever it is applicable. If you're not from a non-speaking country, even if you are too, we still require you to have a knowledge of English. Now, the structure of the program is we have some core modules. Examples are leadership, change management, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We also have strategy and research methods. Now, the kind of assessments we do are coursework, projects, presentations, portfolios, and reports. We have 4 modules in each term, and then the very last term is where you do your research projects. So why would you want to choose this program? Or why would you want to study in GCU? Now, we lay strong emphasis on global business, sustainability, and responsible leadership, with a unique focus on both developing existing businesses and also entrepreneurship. Now, this is delivered in London. We have a London campus, and you find that it offers direct access to a global business hub. We have diverse network and industry exposure. Also, we are backed by high research impact, a strong international student committee, and a clear focus on employability and real world application. Now, if we look at the industry engagement and employability, you find that why employers choose us is because of our accreditation. We are aligned with QAA UK standards for business and management, and also academic accreditations that are relevant to the courses. Now, for industry engagement and involvement, it includes guest speakers. We also do company visits, practical projects, and we help students gain real world insights and improve their employability. Now, when it comes to employability, you find that our students or graduates are prepared for roles in business development, management, and entrepreneurship across global industries with skills that are aligned to current market needs. So the program provides a strong foundation for navigating complex global challenges and seizing international opportunities. It empowers students with the confidence, capability, and adaptability that is required for future career. Now, making it a valuable investment for anyone looking to succeed in an increasingly interconnected world. We look forward to seeing you.
All right. Thank you so much, Vivian. I really appreciate that. Um, I will go ahead and reintroduce because I know there's been some people that have joined the session since we've started. So I'll reintroduce our two current students as well because we are doing a Q&A session. So if you didn't hear it earlier, we do have the chat bot on the side that you can go in and type your question. So please, anything about the program for all three of our presenters today. If you have any questions for them, please pop it down while we're going through. But I'm just going to kick off a few questions with our two lovely students who started with us in January, Casimir and Shamaka. So for both of you, my first question for you guys is, how does the program balance theory with, real world application? Um, oh, sorry. Oh my God. Sorry about that. As that was a question for Vivian. What has been the most valuable and interesting part of the program for you so far?
Okay, so I can go on, right?
Yeah. Whichever one's comfortable going first.
All right. For me, the most interesting part was like everything we are linked to like real world issues, right? Especially the sustainability part of the SDGs, right? We are not just doing theory here at GCU, we are applying it to our coursework. So, for instance, we use the innovation and the entrepreneurship course, right? And in this particular course, we had to create a business idea linked to an SDG. So we use different teaching methods like Lego, which involved like building from interlocking bricks so that we can be able to think outside the box. For another course, such as the IMGS, that's the International Management, Governance and Sustainability, we actually also linked our coursework to an SDG. So the critical thinking part made it more interesting for me. And linking it to an SDG, we are not just asking what is a company doing, we are asking the impact they're trying to take. So it's not about generating business ideas. We are trying to make impact with the ideas. So the SDG part made us to question things. So it's not about what a company puts out there. It's not about the theory they put out there. We start to question real business practices, and that is what international management and business development has exposed us to. So that was the most interesting part for me. So at the end, it boils down to the profit, the people, and the planet. Right? We are not focused on profit alone as business managers. So I'll hand over to Casimir.
Okay, for me, when trying to study business in its entirety, London is one of the best locations where one can study business or international management, as the case may be. Uh, studying at GCU, the most relevant part for me basically is um, there's a focus on practical business developmental skills. So it's not just about the academic part of it, the practical business developmental skills. So there are a lot of skills that are not just the soft skills and also hard skills as well. So it's taught me or it made me know that there is a need to develop on those skills. There are a lot of skills that are hidden, that they are just there in the subconscious. It helps to bring out the best in you, bring out the practical aspect of that. And London is one of the best, if not the best place to study this. And also the location as well, of course, where GC is located is at the heart of London. And where else again can you think of studying business if not in GCU, surrounded by the Bank of England, a lot of a lot of locations. So it is a perfect place to um, study not just in London but in the perfect location where it is located. And also also one of the core or the relevant part of the program as well for me was the cross cultural management. GCU hosts a lot of people from various or diverse culture, different backgrounds, different countries, and they have a way of, or they have a platform to manage these people perfectly without having any prejudice or having placing one above the other. So the model also um, involves a lot of models that involves cross cultural management as well. Trying to understand how people think and also respecting how people think and how people reason. And also for me, the last that is also relevant for me is the entrepreneurship and leadership models that we did in the first trimester. We were able to understand that innovation is not just trying to build or trying to um, build new things, but those things you are trying to build, businesses you are trying to create, does it solve problem? Are they just there for profit, or are they there to also meet people in their needs? So it made us think, and a lot of practical aspects. So, but also the most important part of it is as well for me is GC created a platform uh, through the models that the models we were able to understand that the models the study pace was manageable, right? So it was able to accommodate both those that are struggling, like we said in the slide two. It was able to create a platform to manage those, and those that are high up there, and also those that are managing. So the model was so good, and also so wholesome for me as a student.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you guys so much for, answering that question. And I think it does lead me, some of the things that you mentioned about uh, London and being in the environment that we are, and the, proximity of our campus and where it's located in London. I think that leads me to my next question for you both, which is what is it like studying and living in London while doing this program?
London is expensive.
Well, that's
It's
fair. That's
expensive, but
true. That's
a
true.
place to live, right? A place to live. So for me, the one of the most enticing part of studying in London is the business, right? when once you step out, you see people moving. They're always moving. They're always moving. They are moving. No one
And they're
has. No one
always
has time.
fast.
They're always moving on the train station. Moving. Everybody's moving, heading towards a direction. And it talks about business. Talks about business. Talks about how people think. Talks about people how people. So you have to key in. You have to. It may appear a little bit off or awkward for you the first few weeks or the first few months, but believe you me, when you try to s- um see, because it's not just about behavior, it's all about culture as well. So um you see people doing things, there is an underlying factor to that. So studying in London made me understand that people people were acting not just from a personal. There is always an underlying factor for people's action, and the location as well for me is best for me because it's made me to come across or encounter a lot of diverse culture, people from different backgrounds, people from different races, and also factor in and also drop some way of reasoning that have held for years, and try to see from others people's perspective on how they reason, what affects their decision, what prompts their decision making skills and decisions. So it's for me is the perfect location, and London for me is just something else, to be honest.
All right. So for me, before coming to London to study international management and business development, there is this situation where we are quick on our feet, where we always add that we have worked in a fast-paced environment in the CV part, right? So I do not understand what the fast pace mean, but sometimes we just throw that word around in CV, right? Just like Kasmia said. So now I came to London the very first day of class. Like, I'm coming from an angle of sort of for the fact that me and Kasmia, like, we don't miss any class, right? We've had like almost 100% attendance. So, but my first day, I had to run. I had to run from the train station, right? That was how everybody was racing, right? I had to join because it's not a place to catwalk. It was really a fast-paced environment. It made me quick on my feet, right? And the first thing you learn is how to manage your time and your money, right? Nobody told me to start asking questions. I had to see oyster banner in GCU cafe. I had to read, right? Because you will look for ways to save your money in London, right? So and this really complements the course, like studying international management and business development in a global market like London, right? Everybody, like, these businesses are right in front of you, and there are constant opportunities which GCU has also aligned us to. Just like the career fairs, we had to visit one at Westfield, London, so that we can network, get an idea of how the job sector, the corporate world looks like, right? So, which is very, very beneficial. GCU always updates us with this kind of information, and also most of our assessments have been aligned with picking a company around us in London. And even if you want to do that, there are a lot of businesses to pick from. So it's not like we are not in a town where we are looking for businesses to analyze, right? London is just the perfect place to gather information, and it's very, very essential to this course. So that's just it for me.
So that was fantastic, guys. I really enjoyed hearing that, and I think it sparked a question within me, and then also I think would maybe be very helpful to our attendees today. What tips do you guys have on saving in London as a student? Has there been anything that you found that's very helpful?
saving.
You have to
I
save.
think
That's okay.
it
It's
really,
okay.
I
it's really a
think,
tough one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
for me, I think it's all about the individual. Everyone has a way, because I myself I've been a big spender. I've been a big spender, and I don't really, not that I don't really have reserves, but London has made me, GCU has taught me that, or studying in London has taught me that there is need to have reserves, or there is need for savings. Even though there are things that may appear to be free, like health care, and but there are other things that will spend you spend. So for me, in the aspect of transportation, we as students, we were able to discover that there were need to, like my colleagues, my colleague said, Chamaka said, Oyster card, try to get real cards. We didn't know. I was spending, a whole lot of money the first few weeks, till I got to know about the Oyster card and the railway card. So when I was able to get that, the my cost of transportation sliced to almost half of it. So for that, and also we also need to factor in the accommodation, because what really takes or makes students to spend a lot of money is transportation and accommodation. So groceries and all this they're quite cheap, they're quite okay, but for what takes the bulk of the money is the rent, and then the transport. So a secret for the secret for rent as well is trying to find, not really trying to live in the heart of London. There are other places where you can rent a room very close to camp, very close to London, not in the heart of London. Um, you can also look at factor in getting rooms in HMOs, not really getting high expensive rooms. There are rooms there where you can get for maybe 400, 500, 600. They are quite affordable. So basically, we were able to, I think it's just about in the individual. For me, I was able to factor in, try to slice or getting the real car for the transportation, and also looking for a way of me cheaper accommodation as well, because that's what takes the bulk of the money.
Hmm,
So
perfect.
that's for me.
Yeah, that's yours. No, that's really good. I think that's very helpful tips. I will go ahead. I think I'll do our last question because we're getting near towards the end of our session. So again, reminders to anyone, our attendees, if you do have um, a question for us, please pop it in the chat. So we have about 5 minutes left. Just a reminder. I'm gonna do one more, and then yeah, if we have anybody put a question in the chat, we'll go from there. But this is for all of you. We'll start with you, Dr. Vivian. What's one piece of advice you'd give to prospective students considering this course?
One piece of advice I would give to
Yeah.
anyone that wants to come to study in the university is be ready for hard work. You have to be ready for hard work. You have to be dedicated also. And note that you're here for a particular time. And so you have to do your best. And so, just like our students say, you have to plan your time. Timing is very important. You have to attend classes. You have to make sure you're on time. You can't afford to be late on attendance because you're required to reach a certain amount of attendance so that you don't get into problems. So you just have to be ready to work hard. And at least the first few months, make sure you have enough money to take care of yourself, because getting a job is not going to be that easy. You will get, but not within the first 1 or 2 months, because that is when you're trying to focus on your studies. And so you just have to be ready for all of these things. So my advice would be to be ready for hard work, in as much as, well, not really that hard work, but be ready to be dedicated to your studies. That's the advice I would give.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Vivian. And then, see, Shamaka, would you like to go next?
All right. So for me, coming from the student's perspective, right, nothing really prepares you for graduate studies, right? Especially if you have had, if it has been long you graduated from the university, it's going to be quite overwhelming at first, right? But trust me, you are going to be able to blend in. There is nothing to be afraid of graduate work. The coursework has been split
Yeah.
into presentations, recorded pitch, theories, so that your skills can showcase itself in different scenarios. So let's take an example for presentations. You get to work with different people in a group, building teamwork and all that. So the course load does not really fall on one person, right? So the presentations coming first in the coursework before the theory helps you to get familiar with doing assessments. So nothing to be afraid of. And in most cases, the lecturers walks you along the assessments, right? The course outline is usually aligned to how the assessments will be. So once you can be able to be in school, like make sure that you are always in attendance, you should be able to know how to navigate the assessments. Nothing to be nothing to be afraid of. So sometimes GCU and also the program leader have been able to space the assessments. It can be 1 week apart, 2 weeks apart for the next assessment. But trust me, deadlines can come closer very, very quickly. So you have to plan ahead, you have to map out. So these lecturers from the first week or second week of class, they have split the group work and everything you need to know. So you just have to plan ahead. You need to have a plan. It's not something you don't come to a graduate study and decide to just do it haphazardly, right? You need to be organized. So this is where you start building your organization. You have to make use of your time. So hard work is important. Planning is important. You need to plan because at some point you might wake up and not know what to do, but you need to have a plan. Yeah, you need to have a plan, really. Yeah. Like I said initially, for us in the first trimester, we are in the resting phase. I can't believe I'm sleeping fine, but we will all get there.
It's a distance, you know? It's a, yeah. All right, Casimir.
Okay, basically, I would not really want to scare anybody, because for the first advice I would give is to prospects is try to live your life, right? Living your life. For me, I've discovered that for the fact that you have decided to pursue a master's degree means that you have made effort. You have made effort in trying to obtain your first degree. So if you have made effort to trying to obtain your first degree, it means that there's no skyrocketing in masters. It's just a 1 year or 16 months program, as the case may be. So there's no skyrocketing it. So just live your life, and also try to enjoy the moment. Mind you, you are studying in London. You're not studying in a country that is very. You're studying in London. You need to enjoy the moment, enjoy London, and also live your life. So even though when you try to study, there's also you need to know that there is life outside the classroom. And I've also discovered that the here in London, everybody we laugh, and if you try to take academic work so personal, at the end of the day, you may end up not even be happy with yourself. So try to live. For me, it's just live your life, the life you have been living, and also try to enjoy the moment studying in London.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to, end on this note, Casimir. It's true. It's true. It's to credit all of you and to credit, our current students as well. It is, a large undertaking coming to a new environment, especially when we have such a big international base and coming to London. But I think, Casimir and Ishmaka are great examples of the person you become as you're studying over here. And obviously, they're very hardworking individuals who are driven and, using this program as a stepping stool for your next part of your journey, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and check the chat quick. I don't believe we have any questions. So again, this is platform. So that brings us to the end of this session. I'd like to thank for giving us their time today and expertise. And also extend a big thank you to all of you for attending and considering our program. Just a reminder, will be on GCU's YouTube page in the next coming weeks if you'd like to rewatch it or share it with someone else. We hope you found today's session helpful, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming you to GCU. All right. Well, thank you guys again. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.